Good evening, all. Welcome to tonight's I'mPossible conversation. I'm your host, Suki, and I'mPossible conversation is all about you, your journey, and your story. Your story is so unique and so different and not worthy of a comparison. Tonight, my guest is Shumba Wileman. She is one of the extraordinary women I met recently, and I'm going to welcome her now. Hello, Shumba.
Hello, good evening, Suki. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. I just want to say, firstly, thank you so much for inviting me to I'mPossible. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, let's start. Let's talk about your most favorite quote, please. Because
Yeah,
that, I believe, the people's quote shows who they are.
that's very true, Suki. My favorite quote is, not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some storms come to clear your path.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that's your favorite quote?
It's my favorite quote because before I knew about this quote, I used to, when I was growing up, I used to cry a lot. I used to ask myself, why has this happened to me? Why am
Uh-huh.
I going through so much turmoil? Why am I going through so much suffering? You know, I used to ask why? And I used to think maybe life was placing a curse on me. But when I met this course, I just thought, this is why.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Thank
Like,
you.
okay, yeah, because I love that quote. That's so true because it's how we see things, isn't it?
Absolutely, Suki. It's how we perceive things, it's how we interpret life events. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we cannot do anything to what life throws at us, but
Mm-hmm.
we can do something to how we respond to it.
Exactly.
That's what I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Okay, let's move on to your who are you and what's your background? Where are you from and what do you do? Just general stuff to introduce you.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Shumba, as you have already said so. I'm
Mm-hmm.
from Africa originally,
Mm-hmm.
and I came here about 19 plus years ago. I came here in 2001, and I'm currently a public speaker, a coach,
Yeah.
a holistic therapist, and a trainer. That's what I do.
Oh, wow. So, where are you originally from? And like last 18 years, what's the life been like?
Last 19 and a half years, I think, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I came in 2001. It's been exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's been challenging, but above all, it's been quite enlightening and also fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me, Suki?
Yeah, yeah, of course I can. Yes.
Uh-huh. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
been really exciting. For me, it's when I look at life, I think it's a journey. So it's demarcated with all sorts of different lessons that we learn. So I have
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed it. I really have enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed being here in UK from
Mm-hmm.
Africa.
Yes. And what was it like? So you came about 19 years ago, and then you said you are a public speaker now. You're a holistic therapist,
Yeah.
and you've done so many different courses and to get qualified. And
Yes.
how did it start? Were you doing similar thing back you were in Africa?
When I was in Africa, I used to run a complementary business
Mm-hmm.
where we were doing beauty treatments, where we were doing things like Bowen, Reiki, kinesiology, reflexology, facial massages, because when I was in Africa, I did ITech qualifications, and ITech is based in London. So I did my diplomas through ITech, and I started running a business, a complementary business, for about 12 years, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So when I came over here, I wanted to transfer what I love doing. So I would go to university here, I would go to work, but as time went on, I also opened a little therapy room when I was out in, when I was up in Scotland. That's how I continued my complementary therapy practice.
Right. Okay. So what do you do now to, like, what do you actually do now? You're a public speaker and you are writing a book?
Yeah, so when I graduated in health and safety in Scotland, I started doing training. So I used to travel a lot throughout UK doing some training. And then I also concurrently was doing a lot of courses like stress management, like hypnotherapy and psychotherapy. So I continued my training, and when I moved to Newcastle, I was still a trainer traveling throughout the country. But the last 2-3 years, I felt a bit tired because, as you can see, I'm a very young grandmother. You know, I felt very tired, so I decided to go back to complementary therapies. And then I also decided to say, let me transfer my training skills to go into public speaking, because I love public speaking. I love, being with people. So I joined the PSA. I think you probably know it. And I started attending their meetings, and I just decided to delve into it and to grow my public speaking as well as coaching, because I have a therapy room where people come for therapy still, but I do talking sessions as well as things like reflexology.
Right. Okay. Because I remember you were mentioning about traditional herbal medicine a while ago.
Yes, yes. So the story is that one of the things that I did in Scotland, when I went to Napier University, I studied herbal medicine for a year. And there's a story to that. My own mother, who died when she was 103 years, was a traditional healer. Now, the thing is, when I was young, very young, I didn't mind it all. But when I went to school and when I went to university, I was so ashamed. I was ashamed to tell people that my mother is a traditional healer. I didn't tell people. I could not bring myself to say, my mom goes to the bush, my mom goes to the forest and comes out with these green things and gives to people. My mom was a go-to traditional healer in our village. And people used to come with all sorts of ailments, and she would give them herbs to heal. But at that stage, when I thought I was educated, I was so, I was ashamed.
Yeah. And if you think your mom lived until 103 years old, that's a very, very good age. And like being her traditional herbal healer, do you think that helped a lot? And what was her daily, like what did she eat? How did she look after herself?
Well, Suki, the funny thing is my mom was so into the traditional way of life. She never used she didn't eat processed food. She would always go to the fields, pick vegetables, pick crops and what have you, and cook. And she used to go to the bush and bring tea leaves from the bush. And she used to use, we've got a weed that we use for washing. which becomes soapy when you are using it. And she used to grow sugar cane. So she would eat very raw organic food. And she was always either in the fields or out helping people. So that way of life, I think, kept her very healthy. And I remember at one time when I was now living in town, in low density town, in affluent cities, I invited her to come and stay with me. She only stayed for a month, Suki. And after that, she says, no, I want my village life. So, so I think that kept her healthy. And I look at us, my generation in Africa, we have now come away from our traditional way of living. We have now stopped eating organic foods because we are into, things that are processed, over-processed, and all that kind of thing, which I think some of it might not be 100% good for our health. And also, my mom used to go to the fields to work, on a regular basis. So that means she was getting exercise, doing that kind of thing. So I think that also helped her to be 103 years when she passed away.
Yeah, because everything was so simple, and now we are just so developed, and everything's digital, and we got our car, and we eat so much processed food. And the thing is, I think we're trying to go backwards to the simple, normal life, because I can see, like, my friends, when they say, I would like to go on holiday, and they just show a picture of me, very simple, very ordinary life, nothing fancy. And
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, Suki. Our forefathers, our mothers, at that age, they lived definitely a simple life, but also their life was not complicated. And also they used to do a lot of chores. Now, if we were to go, maybe to walk 10 kilometers, we would go on a bus or drive.
Yeah.
In the villages, people walk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that also contributes to exercise, to keeping healthy, to keep your body, your muscles. Whereas now we spend hours sitting in front of the computer,
Yeah.
So I think you're right on that one,
That's
Suki.
the way of life. Yeah. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Which part of Africa did you come from? Like,
So my mom was born in South Africa. With time, we moved to a place called Harare. I don't know if you know Africa well. There's a place called, there's a country called Zimbabwe in Harare. So that's where we moved to. And that's where I came from when I was coming to UK.
All right. Okay. So that's the whereabout you come from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Maira says, hi, Shumba. Yes, a lot more manual labor was present back then too. Yeah.
Oh, Myra, hi, matey. How are you?
So, please tell me about your public speaking journey, because you inspire loads of other women and you support them as well. So, what's it been like?
My public speaking journey has been awesome, Suki. I've met people like you. I've met the PSA in Newcastle. I've gone to PSA in York. I've gone to PSA in Scotland. And I need to say kudos and my appreciation to PSA Scotland, Scott Johnson, because one of the first showcases that I did was with PSA Scotland. They had their regional, you know how they do their regional speaking competitions. So I managed to get 5 minutes for me to stand in front of people and speak, and then receive feedback. And on that panel of judges that day, there was a guy called Ilya G. He's based in Berlin or Germany, I think. And he gave me so beautiful feedback. So from that day, when he said to me, I would spend the full day listening to you, he gave me the confidence to do more in my speaking journey. And I think, I'm sure you remember when I got another good golden opportunity from Paul Lancaster at Founders Friday. And I got to speak in front of so many people. Again, that to me was a door opening for me to become more and more confident. And when I came to your event, that big, nice event that which you arranged, do you remember? The first one, the first event you did.
Yeah.
When I came there and I sat through and listened to the speakers and all that, that also gave me a lot of confidence. And when I came away from your event, I said to myself, how about if I also try to put up an event? That was challenging for me, but I challenged myself. I said to myself, let me just do it. If I fail, then I learn. If I fail, then there are lessons, not failures. And so after the stint in Scotland and the one at Founders Friday, and after attending your big event, I then decided to put up an event on 30th of November, which was called Dare to Dream.
Dare to Dream.
Dare to Dream. And that was my aha moment. That was the moment I said, well, I've done it. It might not have been 120%, but the thing is, I've done it. And the people that supported me, that came and supported me, including Myra, Anne English, Sarah, so many, Debbie, so many. There were about, I think, 15 people that signed up for the event. And it was so beautiful. What happened there was so magical, the energy, because without the help of people, sometimes we don't achieve our dream, So for me, that was the time which made me think, you know what? Everything is possible. I'm possible. You are possible. We are all possible.
Exactly. We just need to start and get the ball rolling.
Absolutely. We just need to put one foot in front of the other, And from that, I also had I had two appointments. One was events. One was on the 20th of March, but unfortunately, due to the pandemic, coronavirus, everything has been put on hold now.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. It's been quite a big challenge for all of us. And because I remember you going around and doing lots of different talks with a group of other women. So I want, please tell me, what's your purpose and what's your value?
I've been lucky that I've been invited to a few meetings. People just say, like I know Duenas Women, I think you know it. They invited me to come and give a talk on self-love and compliments, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Because, Suki, every opportunity that we get, we want to learn. We take lessons from it. We want to improve. We want to grow. And one lady, I think you might know her, Lauren McWilliams, she invited me to be a keynote speaker at her birthday. Her company is 1 year in some months now. So she invited me to go and speak at a company, at a company birthday event, rather, yeah. And I totally loved that. There were quite some people there, and I did my speech. So for me, every time I stand up and share and talk and do something, as long as it's to do with speaking, I
Mm-hmm.
feel very good, because I feel it's an opportunity for me to improve.
Awesome. Um, yeah, because that's your purpose and that's your value. And then I, your book is getting published now. Is that right? What stage
Yes.
are you now, and when it will be published? And what is it
Um,
about? Is it like mainly a story, or is it? Yeah.
so my book, Suki, is
Shumba, sorry.
yeah.
Would you be able to speak about your book whilst I just remove myself from a screen and I'll recharge my laptop because it's
Yes,
just now.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course, yes, of course, yeah. So my book is called Finding Bliss Within, and my book is really more about my life stories. It's about my own life awarenesses. It's about my own life experiences. It's about the things that I have gone through, my life journey, so to speak, the tunnels that I have walked through and come out of the other side. So one of the, or some of the reasons why I've written this book is so that I know that a lot of us, we all go through some storms. We all get some curveballs thrown at us by life. And sometimes, of course, life throws some curveballs at us. So I thought, why do I not document my experiences, my awarenesses, my life journey, my true life stories? Because I'm sure there are other people out there who might, maybe learn one or two things, or who might relate to what I have experienced, and maybe say to them, oh, I thought I'm the only one, or I thought I'm the only person who is going through these different turmoils. So this is
Mm-hmm.
why I wrote my book. I want other people out there, maybe they'll find one or two things that they can resonate to, that might help them, because life is about sharing, and also life is about learning from the other person, what the other person has gone through, how did they deal with it. Yes, it might not be one size fit all, but sometimes pain is pain. A storm is a storm. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I wrote my book.
Yeah.
And I am looking at about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. I think it will be back here,
Mm-hmm.
because I gave the first manuscript to Hay House, and they sent it back for me to do some corrections, additions, take
Mm-hmm.
out some things, and get some disclaimer closures and all that from some illustrators and all that kind of thing. So I'm hopeful, and I'm also quite excited now. I've done it.
Mm-hmm. 6 weeks. How exciting!
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I believe Maira's attended one of your events, and she says it was a memorable, and your passion for what you believe in was certainly visible.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you, Myra. Thank you for that. But what I can also say, Suki, is that sometimes it takes all of us in a place to exude that kind of positive energy. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that day, what we did, what everybody who was there did, was to be open-minded, was
Mm-hmm.
to appreciate what we were trying to do. And when we held hands, I remember we held hands, everybody who was in the room, we held hands and we shared. It was fun, it was beautiful, it was my aha, and I've got really from that, what I took from that, again, to come back to your theme, Suki, is we are all possible.
Yeah,
We can do
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, they're organizing events and bringing together people and like-minded people. There are always real connection.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's what I love about gathering people. It's a
Absolutely.
yeah. So, where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
Good question, Suki. Good question, Suki. Well, what I can say for definite is that in 10 years' time, I won't have as many regrets as I would have if I had not, one, done what I'm doing with the public speaking, if I had not written my book, and if I had not put myself out there, vulnerable as I might be, to do the things that I love doing, to do the things that I believe in doing. So in 10 years' time, wherever I might be, wherever, whatever I will be doing, at least I can look back and say, you know what, God, thank you. I got an opportunity to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it might have not been perfect, but hey, I did it.
There won't be any regrets. You've done
No.
every single thing you want to do. Yeah.
No, there won't be any regrets. And I want to do more. I mean,
Mhm.
right now, I'm also trying to still maybe arrange some virtual events, like
Mhm.
that, the event that I was going to put out to do on the 28th of March, which is, which was titled, or which is titled, Just Do It. I'm still gonna do it,
Mhm.
and also, for me, with the first event that I did, I made a small little video. It was a 1 hour and 37
Mhm.
speech, but then I took just maybe 2-3 minutes and I put it out there, and I got 32 subscribers and I got so many views.
Mhm.
So, you know what? I'm grateful. I'm appreciative for these opportunities, for these life lessons.
Yeah. Because you are doing something and it's working slowly and slowly. It'll build up. It wouldn't be overnight thing, you know.
It won't be overnight, Suki. And
Yeah.
I remember one of the things that you shared actually at Founders Friday is that you had gone, and you had actually attended an event in London, right? And you came back up to Newcastle, and you were speaking with your friend, and you said you would love to do something like that. And here you are, you're doing that. So nothing is done overnight. Rome was not done in a day. So,
Mhm.
pigeon steps, little by little. I'm wanting to do more. I'm wanting to put myself out there and be, a life learner. I'm a what? A confirmed life learner, because I take life as my classroom all the time. I want to learn all the time.
Sounds awesome. Okay. Yeah, it's been absolute pleasure. So I usually ask random questions from my guests to bring out their personalities. So if you were a superhero, what superpower you would like to possess?
I would like to possess that superpower that breathes into each and every one of us to say, you are enough, you can do it, you are possible.
You are
You have,
possible.
yes, that I would love to breathe that, that conviction, that statement into every one of us to say, you know what, whatever you want to do, you can do it.
Hmm.
You've got enough skills, you've got enough skills, you've got enough talents that you have been given, so you can do it. And that is the superpower that I would love to have.
So give everyone hope that I can do it attitude and
Yes.
different perspective.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
And why I'm saying that is because I believe
Hmm.
that we all have been uniquely gifted
Hmm.
even though our skills and our talents are different, but we all have some unique skills within us.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, then my next question would be, if you could live anywhere, where would it be?
Wow, Suki, that's an awesome question. If I could live anywhere, to be honest, I'll be happy to be where I am now. Can I explain why I'm saying
Yeah, of
that?
course, yeah.
Because I believe that in life, wherever you are, at any one given moment, that's your place. That is your place. So if I were to choose, I'll choose to be where I am now.
Fantastic.
That's my choice.
So if you could choose to do anything for a whole day, what it would be?
Suki, that's my favorite question now. If I were to choose to do something for the whole day, I think what I would love to do for the whole day is dance and sing. You know what? I'm addicted to dancing. I'm addicted to singing. I might not have a great voice, but I love singing. I love dancing all the time. And whenever we go out to a musical gig or a musical whatever event, I don't sit down. I dance. I dance. And if I can sing along, I do that. The thing is, where I come from in Africa, we've got a culture of singing and dancing at all occasions, whether they are happy occasions, whether they are sad occasions, we sing and dance. We celebrate every event,
You celebrate life.
irregardless. Yes, we celebrate life, but we also celebrate death. We sing and dance, when somebody passes away, we sing and dance.
Really?
Yes.
So would it be the special songs and special rituals?
Yes.
Probably will be different, wouldn't they? It
Sorry?
probably wouldn't be the same type of singing and dancing.
No, it would not be the
Yeah,
same
totally
type of
different. Yeah.
songs, but it would be still a celebratory theme, because we will be singing to send off the person that is going to the next level, to the other side of life,
Yeah.
So the songs will be according, but we'll be dancing and singing. That's how we do it. And at the wedding, we also do the same. We sing and
Yeah.
dance. And when a baby is born, we sing and dance.
Yeah. It's interesting. Very different cultures.
Different cultures. You can say
Yeah.
that again, Suki, different cultures. And
Yeah.
it's one thing that I can't shake off wherever I am. If there's any music, I sing and dance. I don't know if you have seen, I did a very short video of me singing, and I
No, I
posted
haven't
it.
yet. No.
And I posted
I'll
it.
check that.
Yeah. I posted it on Facebook. I just love to do it. I mean, my husband said, "Well, you look tired, and the singing is a bit heavy." And I said to myself, "I want the world to hear this." So I love singing and dancing.
That's the way to life.
Yeah. You got to sing your way through life.
Absolutely. So what makes you laugh the most?
Oh, that's a tricky one, Suki.
It's so many things.
Yeah, I think what makes me laugh the most is when I laugh at myself. Most of the time I laugh at myself, and I'll tell you how. Sometimes because I train people in confidence and assertiveness, and sometimes somebody says something, and instead of actually responding, I zip my mouth, I don't say anything. And then a minute later, I said to myself, hang on a minute, why didn't I say something? And I just laugh at myself, you know? So that's it. That's how I am.
You just laugh at yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I find fun laughing at myself.
Mm-hmm. That's like full of joy. You don't really need to rely on anything else to make you happy. And
No,
you're just full of
no,
life and doing it for
no,
yourself. Yeah.
no. Yeah, because sometimes I think we also need to be able to, if the world was shut down today and you were on your own, you would need different tools to survive and get by, you know, and get yourself out of any anxiety, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by your side, that's a great affirmation. Very true. Everything's within us.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. Thank you, May. Thank you, Matey.
And so looking back, and there are, if you look back, there are lots of things we can't really change. However, sure, there are so many great memories and lessons and proud moments. What was your I am possible moment?
Well, without sounding like a broken record, when I did that Dare to Dream event,
Mm-hmm.
for me, that meant a lot. That meant a lot. That also gave me the impetus, that gave me the energy to say, I can do more. Now that I've managed to take these few steps forward, maybe I can, you know, do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more steps forward. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and when I got invited by some other people to come and speak, that was all because I had now gotten some confidence. One of the things that I need to mention, Suki, is there's a gentleman called Mark Gordon. I'm sure you know him.
Mm-hmm.
He is the director for Northeast Expo.
Yeah, he organized Novice Expo,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
organizes Northeast Expo, and he invited me. I actually applied, and he said, yeah. And then I went, and I had a slot, 45-minute slot, speaking at Northeast Expo Newcastle, and that was an eye opener for me because
Mm-hmm.
I made friends, and I remember I saw you there. I made friends, I made connections, and I've never looked back, Suki.
Mm-hmm.
I've never looked back.
Yeah, because that's a very big event to speak.
Yes, yes. It's a pity
Mm-hmm.
that because of the coronavirus, the
Mm-hmm.
one which we were supposed to do on the 26th of March, I was going to
Mm-hmm.
speak in Middlesbrough.
All right.
Yeah, so it was postponed. But I would love, when it comes back again, I would love
Mm-hmm.
to do that. I would love to be invited anyway. I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind, you know, to show my vulnerability. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
I believe you are progressing really fast because
You
you're
think
doing
so?
so many things. Yes, because I remember meeting you last year around, where was it? Around June, April time, April, May time. And
Yeah.
now look where you are now. You've already done so, like few events and speaking at Novice Expo and being a PSA member and traveling around like Scotland and Northeast doing your showcase. It's it's a lot to complete in a very short period of time. Yeah,
Well,
so I'd be very, very proud of yourself. You're doing absolutely amazing.
well, thank you, Suki. I think one of the things that I also remind myself is sometimes is when you have brought, people are very supportive, Suki. People are very supportive. But the point that I wanted to make after you made that compliment is that we can only get to a certain level by doing it. by doing, by putting things into action. When I joined PSA and when I started doing these little tiny things, I said to myself, I'm always encouraging my attendees, my candidates, the people that come to my training sessions, when I'm training them in confidence boosting or whatever, I always say, you have to do it. Because if you don't do it, then you will never know your strength. You will never know your abilities. You will never know your capabilities. So the fact that I am doing this is also a big lesson for me. And the fact that I have got quite a lot of friends, I mean, like you and English and so many, Métis, so many friends that if I say today, I'm going to do this kind of thing, people are supportive. And that's how, and that's what we should be doing, all of us, to support each other, to help each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. 100% agree, Shumba.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, this would be my last question. And what is your message for our viewers?
Well, I have a message for our viewers. Firstly, I just want to say something, Suki. To say my full story, I've just given you the bonds because we don't have time. My full story, I've experienced loss, I've experienced suppression, I've experienced suffering, I've experienced a lot of adversity, but I've come through it. I've come out of that dark tunnel. So today, my message to our viewers is that I'll read this quote from an unknown person. You fall, you rise, you make mistakes, you live, you learn, you are human. You might not be perfect, you've been hurt, but you are still alive. Think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, and to chase the things that you love. Sometimes there is sadness in our journey, but there is also lots of beauty. We must keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when we hurt, even when we pain. For we will never know what is waiting for us just around the bend. And to close off this quote, one of my favorite authors, Marianne Williamson, said, "Nothing binds you except your thoughts. Nothing limits you except your fear. And nothing controls you except your own beliefs." So that's my message.
Thanks so much. That's been amazing. That's the best message I've ever had, on our impossible conversation, because you prepared it and you read whole passage. It's been amazing. Thanks so much for your time, Shumba, and it's been absolutely lovely having you on our impossible conversation. Thank you very much for sharing your story. And
Thank you.
for all our viewers, thank you very much for your time as well. And I hope I'll see you next Sunday. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And remember, we are all possible. We are possible.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Suki. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.